So we can take a few minutes here with this feeling from this song and just go within and just feel this uncompromising call of our heart. Invite this feeling. There is only God. It's only God that we want. You can allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to release whatever is on the surface. Whatever thoughts, whatever feelings. So we are here to truly see. We're here to learn to see truly, to release physical perception and interpretation. And connect with something much, much deeper, much more powerful, much more safe, much more beautiful, much more joyful. To do this, we need to let go of all littleness. We need to let go of interpretations, control, maybe the personal perspective. And Jesus says in the Course, rejoice then that of yourself you can do nothing. Rejoice that of yourself you can do nothing. You are not of yourself. He of whom you are has willed your power and glory for you. He of whom you are has willed your power and glory for you, with which you can perfectly accomplish his holy will for you when you accept it for yourself. He has not withdrawn his gifts from you, but you believe that you have withdrawn them from him. So he says it's just a belief. You haven't even done it. You believe you have withdrawn his gifts. But you never did. And this is the path we're on. To remember this. To remember you are a gift of God. That's true identity. And all guilt and all the mess of this world has nothing to do with who you are. Yeah, we're here together to release what doesn't serve. And it's so beautiful that we can do that together, just by joining, just by allowing our connection, our true connection. And yeah, we did have a very, very beautiful retreat in the Lake District. Thank you, Peter, for initiating that. Again, thank you. It was very precious. And one of the participants, I mean, everyone had healing. And one of them, he felt to say full yes. And he realized he had never been abandoned. Never been abandoned. So all the painful things and memories in life, God was there. And then one night he told me he couldn't sleep one night, and he just kept feeling to say yes, to take whatever steps the Spirit had for him. And he has like established life with wife and children and job, and, you know, very established. But he just felt that he needs to let all of it go. Exactly like this song, you know, he felt, yeah, this big yes. And he kept hearing when he was saying no in his mind, no, I can't just give everything up. The Spirit just kept saying back to him, it's called a calling. It's called a calling. That was all he heard. That was the explanation to what he was feeling. And it's just really beautiful. It's just, you know, and that's, we all have this yes. Just often just have some layers on top. So yeah, I'm at your service. If anyone has anything you'd like to explore today, tonight. Grace, maybe? Or, yeah.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, what I have been like getting more and more in touch recently is the fear of judgment, the fear of being judged. And there has been fixation in my mind about who is actually judging me. It felt like obsessions, and sometimes it feels like panic. And like I have been sitting with my own judgment. Like, of course, it's all projection, but like there is some charge around that. Like I don't even know where it started. And now I mean, I just also want to say, before I continue, I want to say thank you so much, Janie, because I'm flooded with gratitude about our last calls in specific, because I can see more and more how the shift is happening just by choosing over and over not to side with the ego and to bust it, actually.
Beautiful.
And just now when I was joining with Julie, I felt like there was so much love that she invited me to her room to. And when we were sitting, Julie was expressing something exactly about what I was feeling about her, like the fear of judgment. Is it okay? I share?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like I thought it's my own like I mean, it felt like somehow I am super afraid that Julie is judging me all the time. And she expressed just now the same fear around feeling that I am judging her. And I said, wow, what's happening here? Like, and then I held her hand and I told her, we are doing this together. And it's like together or never. And we are healing together. And I felt so much like we are breaking through something. And I just wanted to bring it to the altar here. Yeah.
That's what it is, you know. It's beautiful. Like that fear you had that others would judge you. Was that what you started with? You know, that's we interpret and then you use others to judge you. Even when they don't, you know. And that's where the release is, to see that you don't have to do that. You don't have to believe that about others. That's actually the whole point. So that feels so beautiful.
Yeah, what comes to mind is what feels challenging sometimes if there are some specifics, like in the daily life, that I feel what I am called to is to know how to, not to be afraid of communication and just just to say what I feel without having to stuff it inside until it becomes dramatic. And then there is more and more fear and imagination that there is judgment around. If I say about it, it's really silly thing to mention. I don't want to mention this silly thing and make a drama about it. But I know it's not the practice that we were doing in the community. Do I even need to speak everything that it's in my mind, because it can be really horrible. Like just like, oh, this one. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you don't. I mean, the point is to learn to share it with the Holy Spirit, you know. That's the whole point. So once you share it with the Holy Spirit, there is no need to speak it, you know, and there may never need to be a need to speak it. Because to release attack thoughts, that is an inward job. And it's beautiful because you don't want them, you know. And it could be helpful to join with a companion if it's difficult to release something, you know. But mainly it is between you and God, or you and Spirit.
Wow.
And then you can share those miracles. It's beautiful. Yeah.
What I am hearing also from you also, maybe it's not like either or, right? It's not like to fall into, yes, it's, yeah.
Yeah. It's not to make some kind of rule.
Flow with grace.
Yeah, flow with grace. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Big hug to both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I just get this line for you, Grace. So Jesus says, I have perfect faith in you to do all that you would accomplish. Nothing will be lacking, and you will make complete and not destroy. Say then to your brother, I give you to the Holy Spirit as part of myself. I know that you will be released unless I want to use you to imprison myself. I think that summarizes what you have realized. This is from Christmas as the End of Sacrifice, chapter 15, part 11. Okay, thank you. We don't want to use others to imprison ourselves. We want to release others. Okay, we have Dirk. Hello.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's because right now I feel a tensity in my head. Maybe hidden even anger. And maybe it has to do with relationships. It has to do with, uncertainty, relationships, and the past. And now here with fear. Yeah, maybe it's again a resistance to simply, as the lesson said today, this joy, this happiness and love for all of my brothers, to see my brothers. And that's my prayer. I want to see my brothers, and I want to be truly helpful.
Very good. Yeah, and it's great that you take a look at this belief in the past, because that's all that's in the way.
Yeah.
So because it's some layers in your mind that interprets. It doesn't really matter what it is. If it's a retreat, if it's a visit with a friend, if it's going to work, whatever it is, the ego's way of interpreting afterwards, it has its filters. It has its way of categorizing, saying this is what it means.
Yeah.
They are like that. And usually it's some kind of flavor to your defense, There's a flavor there that you probably have had for all your life, or most of your life.
Yeah.
Flavor of interpretation. So yes, the invitation to forgive, to see this pattern, that nobody is out to do anything bad to you.
Yeah.
The relationships are just for glory and for love and for healing.
Yeah.
All relationships, each and every one, and the ones you're called to go deeper with are even more. It's a greater blessing for your healing, So it's, there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing up your interpretations that came up.
Yeah.
And let's have a call. Let's talk through whatever you feel. Something.
Yeah, I think that's good. It's feels good to now as here to be in contact, or to be in communication, or in a joining. Yeah.
Because the ego wants to shut off communication. It wants to turn it off.
Yeah.
Don't communicate. It's the ego's religion.
Yeah.
But spirit is communication. Spirit is an open channel. That's what Holy Spirit is.
Or even my ego wants a communication in his way.
In the ego's way, yeah.
In the ego's way.
That's not communication. That's still shutting off communication.
Yeah, to be pride, to be strong, to be maybe superior, to have and not to question my thoughts or my righteousness or my yeah.
Good to see that.
Yeah, and to be vulnerable and take, even in communication, to take a risk. To take a risk in communication.
Yeah, take the risk to undo the ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah. So yeah, thank you for the retreat. And yeah, it was beautiful. It's good.
Thank you, Derek.
Hi.
Hi there.
Wow. All I can say is wow. It's only been 40 minutes of wow. I don't even know what to say. So I called in sick from work today so I could come to the meeting. And everything that has been said here has made so much clarity out of so much harsh judgment that I've had myself. For you to speak about whoever was at the retreat that had like a moment of clarity where they just said yes to God and were going to walk away from their wife and their kids. I did that 4 years ago. And unfortunately, I let the ego eat me ever since. And I knew in that moment it was the most beautiful. It was the most beautiful few months that I'd ever had. It was like nothing I can explain. And something I want all the time. But all of a sudden, one day, I just let ego eat the whole thing. And it was so terrible. And I've been trying to find my way out of it ever since. But then when you spoke of the person on your retreat, I just realized in that moment that was the moment I said yes to God. And I've just been trying to wade my way through it since then. And the timing is so beautiful because I've been going through my actual divorce proceedings in the past little while. And I've been putting off talking to my husband until I had some real clarity on what to say and that we wouldn't just go back and forth about, well, you did this and I did this and screw you for that and screw you for this and blah, blah, blah. I just never wanted. I just was delaying things until that wasn't the conversation we were going to have. And even yesterday was supposed to be the conversation. And something in my heart told me to put it off just one more day. It's okay to leave it just for one more day so that I don't go there with defense, like with my armor on and my defenses on and ready to defend myself. And I realized that I don't need to. Sorry, a really snotty nose. That I don't need to. That I said yes to God and I don't have to feel guilty about it anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're so worthy to release the guilt. Yeah. Maybe that's why you have been waiting, to be able to see it more, to be able to release any guilt.
Because we're all so sweet and cute. That's the thing. My whole life I've seen everybody as super cute. And then there's been I could see two two things always. Like everybody is so sweet and so cute. Everyone's always been so cute. Like just they're all so cute, everybody. And then there's like this layer of shit in hell. I don't know. But like genuinely, like, oh. Oh. Guess it's a matter of believing which one's true. Ah. Oh God. Oh. Oh. That's so weird. Oh, well, the crappy shit isn't true and all the cuteness is. That's just the way it is. Cute is real. Anything other than cute, not real. Oh. Whoa. Oh.
Wow.
Oh. What? Pardon my language. What the heck? I'll say heck. Oh, excuse me for a second. Oh, wow. Which one do you believe? I know which one I believe. Well, it's a good thing I called in sick from work today, hey? Wow. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh, thank God. Oh God, you're so good. Oh. Whoa, okay.
That's beautiful. And seeing images or seeing faces is cute.
So
That's a really good step.
oh. Okay. I think I am complete now. Thank you.
You sound like I did on the plane. I was sorting some photos on my phone while we were flying back from England to here. And I saw some photos from the past, and I just couldn't stop laughing at this strange idea that there is a past. I saw this face, and I just couldn't stop laughing at, this was a person I had some story with in the past. And it was the strangest thing to believe in a story. It was so strange. I just couldn't stop laughing. I had Anna on one side and Barret on the other. And I think they started laughing with me because the laughter would just not stop. Yeah. So it's good to take it very lightly and just choose innocence, That's it.
Even to believe that people are capable of the things, that's been my week lately. It's been laughing at, and it's been fun, is like laughing at the things that you think people were capable of. Like you're not capable of that. Like you would never hurt me and I would never hurt you. And it would been very funny lately, which is awesome. But just this thing has just come into my mind of just like it's funny to think that you did that. It's funny to think you are even capable of that. it's funny to think that I'm even capable of that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, love can't hurt you. Like, look when you're in love, like those little examples that you have where you're totally in love with someone. Like, they can do no wrong. You can do no wrong. There is nothing. There's just nothing there. It's just like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And the beauty of this journey is to learn that that's true,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because like, I remember thinking with Kevin, once like the love part had fizzled out and the horrible stories started, and I was like, I remember a moment where I thought that the story was real. Don't be a sucker. You know, don't be a sucker. The story's real. And then 4 years later, I'm just like, no, I think it's the other way around.
Yeah.
The story's BS.
Yeah.
You can't do that, and I can't do that. Love can't
think
hurt
you-
love. I
Yeah.
mean, really.
Yeah, that's true. I think you're ready. You're ready for your meeting. Husband, for your ex-husband.
I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready for that now. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, I'll mute myself again.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Anna. Mhm. Mm. Anyone else need to release something to see innocence?
Hi.
Hi.
I feel like I'm right in the darkness right now. So it's just, yeah, just. And I feel like everybody has said, like everyone has spoke for me. Every single person has spoke for me, but then I can use it as an excuse, like, oh no, I don't need to, you know. Yeah, and when you said like it's really just learning to take everything to the Holy Spirit, again, it's the same reasoning. Like, oh, that's good to know, because now I feel some rage. I feel I felt rage all day. Hating everybody. And then just like self-loathing by the time 5 o'clock, I don't know, like tea time. And even just with that, yeah, like I know I have to speak now because I know I need help, but there's rage around that as well because I just don't want to tell a story. There's some fear around just allowing the emotion. Like it's one thing allowing the emotion on my own, but as soon as that there's others, seeming others, like there's disassociation and.
Yeah, no, it's very good that you allow and that you show up and, you know, you're just sharing this is what you're feeling and your desire to feel differently is what I hear underneath. So it is very good to join, and even if it's been said, you know, you still need to change your mind, you know, and it's good. It's good to hear the message, you know, and then we can just hold hands. And yeah, and if there's anything specific that you want to lift up, feel free to do so.
Yeah, I think there's lots of things that adds to this feeling of not wanting to speak, you know, just not wanting just. It's been here so many times. It's like I'm so sick of it, but I just can't get to. I've heard you say so many times. It's so hot. I'll just pick one thing and go with that because they're probably all linked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just start somewhere. And then we unwind.
I feel like the movie on Saturday brought up a lot that I can't even remember what it was called now.
Was it Die Hard Huckabees?
Yeah.
No.
Like I found it really hilarious watching it because it was so relatable.
Yeah.
But then since that, I feel like it's a combination of that film and just increasing in the prayer. Like bring it on. I sometimes, bring it on, and then it just seems to get so intense. Yeah, there's challenges with the homeschooling. It's all communication. It's just the same old stuff.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same guilt underneath everything.
Mm. It's that feeling like I just feel pointless to say it. I just feel like it's just annoyed. So I feel like everyone at the house told me that they watched that Lars and the Real Girl as well. And then I couldn't find it for free, but I just watched the trailer. And I ended up watching a couple of YouTube videos. Like they were talking about Ryan Gosling acting the part and how realistic it was, and like because he's on the spectrum. And then last night I watched Louis Capaldi documentary, UK singer who's been diagnosed with Tourette's, and oh my God, it was just unbelievable, but it's just brought so much stuff up. It's stuff from the past. And there's this protection now, like I don't, just not wanting to talk about it. And the judgment, like this harsh judgment, because they were saying, like shrugging your shoulders and licking your lips and blinking a lot and being hypersensitive to touch. Yeah, and all of that stuff that I feel, it doesn't have to come up for healing. It's just, and then the rage came, and even because I have a little obsession, like that's the way it is with the neurodivergent stuff. So then I was kind of obsessing over him and wanting to look. I was listening to his songs and that was bringing up loads of emotion. That was helpful. But like wanting to see how he's getting on now and just getting this impression like he just really wants to just be himself. But it's impossible in this world. Even watching him doing interviews and he was saying, all right, now I've got a little bit of indigestion, and the way people reacted to him, like, oh, you've got to come on this show and be happy. And, even the lessons, the lessons of the last few days, just absolutely annoyed the hell out of me. I feel like talking with it. Yeah. Been anything but, it's going on about joy and happiness, and I've just been anything but that.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus does encourage you to do them, even if you don't agree with them, So that the emotions come up, it's good. And maybe the rage also has to do with the movie yesterday. If you feel like it really touched on something deep for you. And if it felt like, you can't be yourself in this world, he couldn't be himself in this world. Yeah, that's quite true. This world is is closing down on the self, is trying to put the lid on the self that you are. But yeah, the learning is to realize you can only be yourself. You cannot not be yourself. What would that be? So when you feel this limitation, there's just something coming up for healing. Something going through the birth canal, something getting ready to be birthed.
Yeah, this feels like a lot of pain around communication and isolation and looking for acceptance, trying to find somewhere to be accepted, when there's a whole lot of self-rejections. Yeah, I feel like, everything's just like the shutters have come down now.
Well, I feel it was good that you shared. And this can be your prayer now for healing, to release this rejection, this self-judgment.
Yeah.
Solveig was here earlier, and I encouraged her to go on a date with God. And, that could be really helpful, just to say, here I am, God.
Feels like I was reading the prayer, the song of prayer, is it called? Yeah. It felt like that's what it was saying. That's true prayer. Really, you're praying for what's already been given. Like, show me the next steps to just speed up the process, really.
Yeah.
Let me follow. Do it with God's doing that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Laurie. Get another song. I think I have a song for you, Laurie. Let me find it. It's called The Prayer of Your Heart. It's Emily, with her beautiful opera voice, mixing the styles in one song. Beautiful. Okay, do we have any more sharing still wants to come out?
Thank you for this morning. It's beautiful, for this night. I wanted to share an experience this morning with we were talking about having a date with God, and this morning we had a little joining at the kitchen table, and while Grace was eating, and so when I went back to my room to do my lesson, I had joy in my heart anyways, and I followed the prompt to listen to. Usually I don't listen to music in the morning, but I kept hearing a song that's sang in Aramean, and it's very, very beautiful. But yeah, so I listened to the song, and it's like I was in presence of God. It's like I felt this immense benevolence and calm and almost smile and warmth, and I felt surrounded, but I felt like I really felt at that moment that I was opening to him. That's why I could feel that, and it, like, I felt reverence, and God, like, for me, God, like, how can I put it? God most of the time feels far away, and this time it was so intimate. And when I'm talking about it, like, it's kicking and screaming in me, because how do you dare, how dare I don't know how to explain it. And so when you started the meditation, I just had told Grace that, because after my lesson, it started singing. So I let it sing. And so I just said, it was a song, like we were talking about song, and it was a song. And then she said, oh yeah, I heard it. And the way she did it, I felt like all the judgment, like I felt, oh my gosh, you know, I should be ashamed of singing love, you know, like this is, and I'm tired of this because it's like I'm afraid of giving myself over fully to God, and I'm afraid of being judged even by my tea companions. So, but it was so real. It was so warm, so intimate, so. And it's not because I live in happiness all the time every day. No, I have a lot of darkness coming through in the last few weeks, but somehow I was given a ray, and now I'm sharing it, and there's a fear of being punished for sharing it, or so. These thoughts are bullshit. Like it's.
Yeah. Need to fire the ego again.
Ah. Right. Okay.
The ego can't be present on the date with God.
What did you say? Didn't
That
catch that.
ego cannot be present during a date with God.
No. It was so encompassing, and my mind was scanning to see, well, what about this one? And no, it was encompassing. And well, what about this situation? No, yeah, it kept doing this, like, and so yeah, wow.
No, that's beautiful. Yeah. And why would you be ashamed of sharing this? I mean, it's just so beautiful and helpful. Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to welcoming me in that. Thank you. Thank you.
Actually, I just want to say that when I said I heard it, I meant like I heard the song of love, like I am with you. So I was trying to say I am with you in that. So yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
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 Thank you so much.
Precious. Just end this meeting with intention of allowing ourselves to show up for the moment, for the present moment. Releasing doubt, being here. And I was sharing about intimacy, feeling this intimacy with God. It's a very accurate description. If you show up for the present, you experience the intimacy of God. Okay. Lots of love, everyone. Have a great day and a great night, wherever you are. The heart.